Just happy holidays, happy holidays. And guess what? All I want for Christmas is just about 400 more subscribers on YouTube. And then we're going to put YouTube on its back because I'm representing a community and it seems like YouTube won't let me out that cage. So go ahead, 400 more that I need before the end of the year and I have my Christmas present. So it's one of those videos. So make sure you go get your notes, your drink, and your vest because we vested up on December the 24th, 2025. Boy, we sure got them people mad in Cleveland. And guess what? We still going to continue to be on their necks. But we going to stand up in the paint and we coming with full force. I think this game here, we definitely may take it. And we going to take it by force. So this weekend, Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns is going to go against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And as you know, the Steelers are going to show up. It's the last game that the Steelers had against Cleveland Browns. Dylan Gabriel was out on the field, and they was rolling Dylan Gabriel up like a burrito. We all know that game. I think Dylan got sacked roughly 6 to 9 times in that game. So the Steelers, of course, the Steelers want to come back in Shedeur Sanders Stadium. Yep, I'm putting a claim on it. And they want to show that they'll do the same thing to Shedeur, but they don't know Shedeur Sanders got that it factor. Shedeur Sanders got that protection. And later in this video, I definitely got something for those haters in Cleveland that's still moving that goalpost regarding Shedeur Sanders and what he can do and what he can't do and his capabilities and talents and skill sets. I really think that the Steelers is going to come in and try to prove a point. They think they're going to roll up Shedeur Sanders like they did Dylan Gabriel, but that's not going to happen. The Cleveland Browns is not going to face the same Steelers team that they faced earlier this year. Metcalf has been suspended for this game and the next game, and I really hate that for that player because I wanted Shedeur Sanders to play against the Steelers with all they might, all their best players on the field. Because if the Cleveland Browns and Shedeur win this weekend, you know they're going to say, oh, the reason why Shedeur Sanders won because Metcalf was not. Metcalf was suspended, and, you know, the game would have been different if Metcalf would have been there. See, I don't want those type of narratives. But no matter the case, Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns, if the O-line just do right just a little bit, Cleveland Browns and Shedeur Sanders can upset the Steelers if the O-line just do right. Jimmy, Andrew, make sure you go ahead and pull that O-line in that locker room and tell them to pull them to the side. Even if you got to give them a little incentive, wink, wink, give them a little incentive just to do right and win these last 2 games. You know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about in terms of those incentives. We don't need Shedeur Sanders running for his life again in this game against the Steelers. Because you know they coming and they're very physical. Even Shedeur Sanders say he likes the Steelers because they're so physical. Sometimes we need to be careful what we ask for and what we like. But Shedeur Sanders, I'm pretty sure that he is preparing for the speed that's going to come towards him. But Cam Robinson, I'm going to start calling you Big Baby Cam. Big Baby Cam Robinson. Can you just please do your job for this upcoming game? Please do your job for this upcoming game. Big Baby Cam Robinson, number 68. You know who I'm talking about. You got 9 years in the league. Just do your job. Because if the O-line would have just did their job last week, we could have beat the Bills. We only lost that game by 3 points. Tommy Reese, or whoever came up with that game plan and that play calling in the first half of the Bills game, that's what you need to do again, the last home game of the season. Let's go ahead and rob the Steelers. Let's go ahead and be the Grinch and steal this game from the Steelers. Because you know they coming in with an attitude. They don't know Shedeur is prepared for them too. That's why Deionsanders call him grown. So Shedeur, make sure I already know that you watch a film. I already know that you break it down in your head. I already know that you have played the game in your head because you said weeks ago the reason why you talk the way that you talk, the reason why you walk the way that you walk, because you already visualized the game. And I need you to visualize this game 24/7, even in the game. Go ahead and visualize what the Steelers are going to do, possibly what they're going to do next, because Shedeur Sanders, we believe in you, young man. You got the world and the community behind you 100%, Shedeur Sanders. So don't give up. And happy holidays to you too, Shedeur Sanders, and all the Cleveland Browns. And Junkins, we heard that you had a very successful surgery. We're glad to hear that you are doing well. And we heard that you're doing well, Junkins. So that was very good news. We do care for you too, Junkins. Well, speedy recovery. Happy holidays to Junkins and his family and his mother. I know that his family is the one that's going to get him through that recovery. So everyone, his family, and wish them happy holidays. Now, when Junkins got injured, I didn't know. I know that Dylan Sampson was injured. I didn't know who the Cleveland Browns was going to go to. But this player that I saw in that game, when Junkins got hurt, whoo, I like the way he run. I like the way that he was carrying that ball. And his name is Trayvon Williams. Ooh, he had that big body. He had that speed, and he was going through. Boy, he reminded me of Bo Jackson. That's how you know I love football. He had one of them big body, Bo Jackson body frame. He had Warwick Dunn body frame. He was moving through that crowd. So Cleveland Browns, make sure you go ahead and give Williams number 83. You make sure you go ahead and give him some playing time, because that young man was moving through that crowd. He had 7 carries for 19 yards. It seemed like he actually already had 60 the way that he was moving on that field. So keep on, Williams. Keep on pushing on and continue to do what you're doing. And happy holidays to you too from Tony Talks Vested Up and Vest. All right, and before I give my reactionary commentary to this clip I'm about to show you what Tommy Reed said earlier today, let me go ahead and talk to the Cleveland media and all of his doubters in Cleveland that keep moving that goalpost. Let me tell you one thing. We don't care about your new acronyms and your new analytics that you came out with, your EPA or expected points added. We don't care about that. See, that's the problem. You want to put your expectations, whatever expectations you had for Dylan Gabriel, you want to change that for Shedeur Sanders. But guess what? We, as the fans, we don't care about your EPA. We don't care about your yards after catch. That's a new acronym I never heard of. They call it YAC. We don't care about that. But the only acronyms that we care about, and come here, Cleveland, I want you to look in this camera. And I'm looking dead at you. The only acronym that we care about is WIN. And as long as Shedeur Sanders is getting that win, and even if Shedeur Sanders loses that game, the only acronym that we care about is progression. I know that's a word, but hey, y'all love acronyms. As long as Shedeur Sanders is progression every game, we don't care, because you didn't expect him to do what he's doing now anyway. I got some more acronyms for you. I got an acronym called Alpha and Omega. I got an acronym that called God is still sitting on high. I got an acronym that says, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lay down in green pastures. You already know what I'm talking about, Vestas. I already know who my audience is. So, hey, whatever God has in store for Shedeur, you can put whatever acronym that you have out there. It's not going to come in fruition as long as we're sending prayers to Shedeur Sanders and all of those players out on that field. 88% of the NFL players are black young men. They are our family, our brothers, our cousins, our uncles, and potential some kids' father. And until that changes, we're going to send all our prayers to all of those athletes on the field, because we know that injury is prone in the NFL, but we don't want no one to be injured because somebody won't do their job on the field, either offense or defense. So I send a prayer to all of those players. You don't know that you're messing with spirituals and destinies here. But guess what? Go ahead and continue to be a fool if you want to. And see what happens to Cleveland. All these players have families. All these players want to go home back to their family. So go ahead, Cleveland, give Shedeur. If you don't want to give Shedeur a pass, don't worry about it, because you're not in control anywhere. Matter of fact, that's another acronym that you can put in your database. Control. You have no control over this matter. There's some commentary on Tommy Reed's news conference from today. Hit the notification on this channel, because as you know, I'm dropping videos every day. I'm dropping shorts. And we trying to make Cleveland mad because we ain't buying these narratives. Hit that notification and subscribe to this channel. All I need 400 more, and we gonna put YouTube on his back. All right, come on, Tommy Reed to the stage. Let's see what he got to say.
As kind of the backup for that game, how much does that help benefit him going into this start?
Yeah, I think it helps. You know, the Steelers are not the same team as they were the first time we played them. Schematically, they're a little bit differently. Personnel-wise, they're a little bit different. Obviously, they have some new faces. They have some guys out. So there are some changes, but it certainly helps to know there's a familiarity with how they play, who their personnel is, how they set their front, the coverage. There's certainly an advantage there for him to feel comfortable going into an opponent that we've prepared for and that we've watched film on for a week and that he's familiar with. You know, they've done a nice job of finding new wrinkles, new complements, you know, matching their wrinkles to who their personnel is. Obviously, Watt's a great player, and you got to account for him. And I think Sunday was a great example of it.
In his decision-making improve in the 5 starts he's made.
Yeah, I mean, I think Sunday was a great example of it. To the quarterback position is solving the problem and having the answer quickly. And you saw him process that information and get to his answers on time.
So why Shedeur haters ain't saying that? Why Shedeur haters is not pointing out the positive in his plays? But we already know why. We already know why. So let's keep moving forward.
Flows the progression and regression from a rookie.
You know, your focus is so much on their development. Your focus is so much on the process of getting the best out of them every day. You really don't go through the emotional roller coaster. You just focus on the process. You don't focus on the result as much as, all right, are our eyes in the right spot? Are we doing the things that we've been coached to do or asked to do? And if you're doing that, then you're on the right direction, which our guys have done for us. You know, the results haven't always been what we've wanted, but we really try to focus as much on the process as we do on the end result. And we're just looking for good progression and making sure that each week there's improvement. Each week we're building upon what we've done and, again, find ways to score points and move the ball.
And you know who that question came from? That question came from Mary Kay Cabot. Nobody is worrying about what are the expectations after these 2 games. The only expectations that we have is that everyone on the Cleveland Browns and the Steelers, they leave that game fully intact and healthy. No major injuries, no minor injuries. Mary Kay, we know what you're talking about. Mary Kay, just stay in the moment. What is wrong with you and your buddies up there in the Cleveland Browns media? Stay focused on what is at hand. All that you're talking about, you need to stay in the moment. Look to see exactly what's happened in the moment. You're thinking about, oh, draft. We're in December 2025. After the regular season, feel free to ask all the questions you want about the potential of drafting, what's his name, Mendoza. But as of right now, enjoy the moment, Cleveland. Enjoy the moment. That is your problem, Cleveland. Y'all have been in the valley for so long, you can't even enjoy the moment. Look what God has given y'all, Cleveland. You have a quarterback that's moving the chains. You have a quarterback, and after the next 2 games, ask all the questions you want about potential draft picks. But as of now, just live in the moment. Take what Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns offense is giving you. The Cleveland has been in the gutter for so long. It's bleeding out. And they're not even enjoying the moment that Shedeur Sanders is giving them. But let them continue to wallow in the dirt and the trash. Come on, Cleveland, and do better.
And there's going to be times where you got to get to 2 or 3, but...
Hold on, Tommy. Let me go ahead and save you right there. The reason why Shedeur threw the ball, or the reason why Shedeur made a play in a certain situation, is because that's what he saw. That's what he thought was best for that scenario at that particular point. Cleveland. That is the why. I just answered the why in layman's term. Based off his perception on the field, Shedeur Sanders made those calls and those plays the way that he saw fit as quarterback, as all quarterbacks do. Come on, Cleveland. Let's get it together.
Yeah, we felt good, you know, like you're staying efficient, you're staying ahead of the sticks, you know, you have a good balance, run, pass, screen, getting the ball on the perimeter, a good blend in the run game, guys touching the ball. Like, yeah, you know, that's the rhythm you want. You can put together those drives. I think the team can feel that, feed off of that. You know, there's been a couple other games or sequences within games where we felt that. You know, we had a really long drive, second drive against the Jets maybe where it felt that way. We had a really good one earlier in the year, like the start of second half, maybe against Minnesota coming out of that halftime, where you just kind of feel like things are in sequence. The opening drive against Detroit felt that way. Guys are moving and operating the way we've asked them to. They're doing a nice job.
And that's all we're looking for, Tommy Reese. We're just looking for you to put together some more play calls in the first half and the second half just to get this win from the Steelers. That's all we asking for. We don't want to see no more dinking and dunking. It's okay if he dinks and dunks, but we want to see Shedeur play football the way that he's comfortable with playing football. But either if you decide to dink and dunk or allow him to throw the ball down the field, no matter whatever scheme that you come up with, the O-line must show up.
Our ability to protect the passer is going to be critical, and that's the quarterback, that's the tight ends, that's the receivers getting open, that's the backs in protection, and then obviously the O-line. But protection against this group is everybody. It's getting open on time, it's playing on time, it's everybody that's part of the core being in protection. So, that'll allow us to have a chance in the pass.
And guess what, Tommy Reese and the Cleveland Browns, that's all we want. We want the U.S. defensive coordinator to go ahead along with Andrew Barry and Jimmy Haslam pull that O-line to the side and go ahead and tell them exactly how they need to execute this week against the Steelers. We don't want to see no more of big baby Cam Robinson letting the defenders just get to Shedeur and pressure him all over the place. We don't want to see that O-line flipping and flopping in the dirt. We just don't want to see none of that. All right, so investors, happy holidays, and all I said for Christmas, all I want. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, just go ahead. I just want 400 more subscribers, and we gonna put YouTube on his back because I came out of hiding just to show you I was real about representing the community, Shedeursanders, and any other player in the future that's gonna need our help. I ain't going nowhere, investors. All right, so until then, make sure you get your notes, your drink, and your bets, because we vested up today. Happy holidays, investors, and I'll talk to you later. All right? And make sure you be safe. Enjoy family. Enjoy life, investors. Positivity. And for any investors that may be sick or family may be sick, my prayers and my heart goes out to you. Just know that God is still real. God is sitting on high. And God can change things in your life, everyone's life. God is still alive. So continue to send your prayers up. And I pray that your prayers are answered urgently and when the time is necessary. All right, this is Tony. I'm out.